Wi-Fi.
Yeah, man. I'm just, Wi-Fi talking about you.
You gotta get it together. Bismillahir Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin Rahman Rahim Maliki Yawmiddin Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in ihdinas siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. This is it. Welcome to the Good Vibes and Good Brothers.
That's right.
This is episode 22. And we are in the home stretch.
Bismillah.
We're pulling in.
Woo!
And this is, alhamdulillah, this new season for us. Our fourth episode for this new season is going heavy. Now we got two big dog heavy hitters in the black ummah. I'm gonna say black ummah.
In the ummah, not just the black ummah.
I know I'm a bigot.
And I'm a smaller.
I practice bigotry.
Smaller tree.
In our ummah, man, this is heavy, man, and they making moves. And they different areas of perspectives. Realms of teaching, impacting those around them, show admiration and love, and just the cause of pushing forward education for our people. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes our people lose track of what type of education. You got secular education, you got religious education, you got both. And alhamdulillah, these brothers provide both, and they love the people that they teaching. That's number one. They love the people that they are teaching. So alhamdulillah, I am ecstatic, excited, hyped, amped. You see that promo I made for him?
I know we had a promo just for this. That's why this was going to be at the 7 o'clock.
Exactly. You got Imam Amin Muhammad from Masjid Muhammad in Atlantic City.
That's right.
And we got Imam Sulimaan Hamid from Atlanta Masjid. What is the Atlanta Masjid? Atlanta Masjid got Arabic now? I'll be forgetting. I just call it Atlanta Masjid. No, they got something else. What is it?
You just say it with Tajweed. Atlanta mentioned it.
Masjid. Alhamdulillah. This is
Alhamdulillah. Thank you for having us, brother.
Yes. And where you at it, man? I'm brother Jermaine Carey, for those who don't know. And welcome to Good Brothers. Go ahead, Doc.
And I'm your neighborhood friendly good doc, coming back after dating a very bitter woman named Corona for a few days.
Wow. We both had the Rona. He just got. I had it last year.
She's quite.
Did she have good dreams with you at night, Doc?
No, I didn't dream at all. She kept me going to the bathroom. Every day. I didn't dream.
I ain't had no good dream. I had a whole bunch of dicks. I was
getting close to God though. I know what death felt like. You know what the taste of death
they come to like. Jesus moments. I had some come to Allah moments. I was in that boy like, hold on.
Coming to Jesus. I came to Muhammad, Abraham. No one on the third night. I was coming to everybody. They was coming to me. So
alhamdulillah, we got Imam Sulimaan Hamid from Atlanta Masjid again. We got Imam Amin Muhammad from Masjid Muhammad in Atlantic City. And alhamdulillah, I want you guys to introduce yourselves. I'm gonna start with you. Start with our elder brother first. Pick and choose who that is.
He got you by a year. Imam Amin, he got you by a year. So.
Imam Amin, can you introduce yourself to the people? Then inshallah have Imam Sulimaan introduce himself.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Amin Muhammad. I am the resident Imam of Masjid Muhammad in Atlantic City. I am your brother, alhamdulillah. On this show, I want to be Amin Muhammad, the brother, right? Yeah. We got Imam, right? But we're going to have a real talk, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not act like a sheikh, right?
Definitely.
Right. So we're going hard.
You already know how I get down.
I ask some questions.
You know what time it is.
Yes, sir, black man, brother Imam and Iman. But alhamdulillah, I'm Imam of Masjid Muhammad in Atlantic City. And as we'll talk, we'll learn. You know, alhamdulillah, we'll talk about each other. But I want to be a good brother today.
Oh, you want to be you're a good brother every day.
Right, you're
a good brother every day.
That's up to debate if you ask the people in the community under my leadership.
Well, with us, you're a good brother every day. When you're on the good brother show, it automatically gives you a lifetime certificate.
Once you become a good brother on the Good Brothers, you're
always a good brother.
All right, I accept.
You're always a good brother.
Imam Sulimaan.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Again, yeah, I'm your brother too, Sulimaan Hamid. I just looked in the chat and I see my Hanif there from East Oakland. Yes, East Oakland is in the building. Originally from California, now in Atlanta, serving the people, and honored to be here with you all today. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Mashallah. Well, Dr. Halim. Yeah, go ahead, jump in.
Let's do a heavy thing, okay? All right. So you two are imams, and the religious leaders in pretty, especially Atlanta, Musha, but pretty high profile places, Atlantic City and Atlanta, Georgia, and all that. And there's a lot of glory and a lot of things that people want coming with being an imam. But I want to ask you some other things, right? And I want to see how you handle some things that are not so glorious about being a religious leader and being an imam, being a high profile, as you say, brother in the community, a good brother. So what happens when them days come and you're not so good as a brother to all the others, right? So what does an imam do? What do you do? And has it occurred? Has it happened? You don't have to go into specifics if you don't want to, but for our young men and people who are coming up in the community, when people start to attack your character, right? People talk about all this hate. It's different. No. People talk about all this hate on social media, and people troll all the time. But there is nothing like being a person of stature in a community, and then that backlash and them darts and that stuff start getting thrown at you, like the secretary spending too much time in your office and texting and things at night. I mean, I'm just saying, like,
he messing with me, man. He knows. So that they said I had some mistresses and I was selling dope.
Oh man!
I was the one that had
that. I'm happy he did. Yeah,
I had the package. This is what they said. Though. They said I had the package, and I was cutting the package down to the people, and I was moving the weight, and this Imam thing was just a front, right?
Damn. So I'm glad we're saying, and now we're being real.
It got even more wild. It got even more wild. A brother was staring at me one day in the lobby, right at the masjid. I said, "Okay, this is weird." You know what I mean? But I'm 2A, so I wasn't tripping. I'm second amendment. I wasn't tripping, right? So he's moving towards me. I see him. He said, "Brother, I got to tell you something. I got to be honest. Somebody told me that you had a sex tape." And you was on this sex tape, and he's telling me this, and I'm looking at him, right? And he said, "Brother, I know this ain't true, but I just had to tell you that this is what they told me, brother." And I say, "So who told you this?" "The sister who I'm married to." So I'm just saying this to say that stuff is wild. The wild claims that we have to deal with, that, you know what I mean? But what you do,
how do you do? Because I mean, sometimes people may think that in your stature, in your position, you may not care, or it may not hurt you, or things like that. So tell us from the human side.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's what I was about to say. From the human side, my particular haters, they got even so wild. You know what I mean? It was cool when they was coming at me, but when they start coming at your family, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's when you want to go shoot somebody. I mean, I ain't gonna hold my tongue. Hurt somebody. Put a bag over their head or something. But you know, it comes with the territory, I think, and part of it how I've come to accept it, and Imam Amin to tell you even more. You know, haters is what the thing about Hasad. You know, I've read it, and again, Imam Amin is my teacher. The thing with envy is that they're not mad. They're actually not mad at you. They're actually mad at Allah for giving you that blessing. So it's even a more sickness that they have in their heart. They think that they're envious of me, but the envy you actually upset with Allah that He's giving this person this blessing. You know, so you know, I just you know, what is it? Feel for them that they going through that harshness, and let them know we can switch jobs at any time. You know what I mean? You come up here and take these arrows, these haters. You know what I mean? It definitely is a real thing that we have to deal with, but it's entertainment, you know. It lets you know, like the OGs say, if you don't got no haters, you ain't doing nothing.
You ain't doing it right.
That let you know what you think.
Imam Amin.
Yeah, Imam, I want you to tell. I know because you got your
own. Dope and weight have you been? I mean, yeah. What they say about you?
He in Atlantic City. They probably say he had a casino, a Trump casino.
No. I don't have that problem with those type of accusations because.
Yeah, go ahead.
I used to live that life, so they know if I was selling dope.
he had the
question for real. If I'm selling dope. If I was selling dope, we wouldn't be making for donations. Right? Trust me. You know, I'm from Atlantic City, and in Atlantic City, it's not shy for Muslims to sell dope. No. Right? So that ain't something that unfortunately
like that too. Yeah.
So they're never going to say Imam selling dope. Yeah. No, that's not going to happen. So I don't got that problem. But Imam Sulimaan, since you're selling dope, that money's not lawful, right? So you need to be better way. Right?
You need that money, you need 20 racks. You need 20 racks.
Selling dope.
But the second thing, I've definitely had that where, you know, they think I'm sleeping with all the women in the mosque.
Yeah, that's normal. Yep.
You know, you just like, listen, man, the women work and the men don't. Stop being jealous because nobody want to marry you because you ain't doing nothing. Right? That's the bottom line. Right? I one time, Sister Aisha Prime, Ustadha Aisha, shout out to my favorite Sheikha, Aisha Prime. Right?
Yep.
She said to me one day, she said, you know, there's a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ said towards the end of the time, one man is going to be responsible for 50 women. So we have a lot of women in our communities. The women are like a backbone of the community, right?
That's
the strong black woman, right? You know, and unfortunately, a lot of these women are single. So as a plug for the women, we need some brothers to step up, not the broke brothers, you know, the reformed dope brothers.
There we go.
We need y'all to step up and marry some of these sisters and be responsible. So she said that to me. I'm like, man, sisters, right? And it was funny. Right after that, I was like walking out the masjid and the sisters surrounded me. I wish I could find this picture. They had a big circle around me in the middle, right? And she was cracking up like, Imam. I said, listen, I can't help y'all. And that always brothers his wife and he, you know, he got all the sisters and all the good sisters he keep for himself.
So,
you know, so I've been accused.
So on
I don't pay that no attention.
And now I want to jump into that.
You know, like this to step your game up, then you get accused too, right?
But we're in the council culture too, right?
Right.
And I know y'all both, and y'all. I know y'all got this thing going around. So I want to touch on this too because I don't want to sound. You know, we got the whole council culture and the whole believe women thing and this stuff, and which is all right, but the spiritual abuse thing that I've been that's going around right now. I really want, because I'm around the shul all the time. I have, you know what I'm saying? Y'all my brothers, I'm around a lot of y'all, right? So I know how a lot of these inboxes go.
Why you turn us into y'all now though?
because
I'm on y'all now. Huh?
I'm just a worker. I just work. So I know how those inboxes go, right? And I know how some of these questions they would, I ain't gonna get too much, but I want to touch on that because it seems like from a demographic of people, they have made it their duty to attack our shuyukh, right? And particularly the black ones. It's particularly, especially the black shuyukh, right? And it seems like coming from a direction where it is one-sided. So dealing with this new phenomenon, which is the council culture of black Muslims or black Muslim imams, this spiritual abuse thing. Can you please touch on? Is it a such thing as spiritual abuse? I can see it, but I can see it from one part, but from a larger scale, I don't really understand it. So can you touch on this spiritual abuse, aka using the deen to, lay it down? Let's say that.
You want me to use some of my fancy chaplain language, Imam? I mean,
go for it, Sheikh.
Well, so let's start like this. Abuse of any kind is unacceptable. Let's start there. And recognize that there actually are cases that cats be grimy, and you know what I'm saying, Mac shaking or shake macking, however you want to put it in, and taking advantage of people. That's real. We can't not recognize that. So that's first, and that's unacceptable. With that being said, though, there absolutely is also a unhealthy reality in religious world today. It ain't even just amongst the Muslims of attacking people who are practicing religion, who are holding firm to religion, and then yes, particularly traditionalists, like I consider myself, and I think Imam Amin would take that title, who are trying to hold firm to the sunnah of the prophet and ain't, being hip with the flower flags and all that stuff. So, you know what I mean? That definitely is a real attack on us now. So, yeah, that's bogus, and kick rocks and stop trying to put that Caucasian leftist culture in Islam and in religion. You beat it. You're not welcome here. You know what I'm saying? There you go. I'm saying it, yeah. And I've said it on the microphone in the Kupa, and they know that that's true. Recognize abuse. But what you say about spiritual abuse, again, cats be grimy, but at the same time, it does take two to do the Tootsie Roll.
It takes two to tango.
It takes two to do the Tootsie Roll. And just be conscious of the fact that, you know what I mean, unless you were like drugged and, you know what I mean, on both sides, but it is a real thing, that we don't want to just totally ignore. But I would say a lot more of what we see in these days, just folks looking for somebody to hate on. Your relationship didn't work out. You had sex with the brother, or you had sex with the sister, and y'all was having sex, and now the relationship didn't work out. So let me put all the text messages and stuff out there. Come on, man, you bitter. So that's a whole nother. And let me look in the chat and see if they shoot shots at me while they're talking.
Not really.
They saying
that happens, and that's a reality. But we do need to recognize that there are cases that you know what I mean. People are that abuse does happen, but a lot of what we're seeing today is just an effort to destroy leadership, and black leadership, and black men, and all that. We got to recognize that too, people.
Yes. Imam Amin, can you chime in just a tad?
I love black folks, man. Why are they leaders if they are willing to Tootsie Roll?
I got an answer for that too.
I'm looking at it. This is wow.
I have an answer for that too. After Imam Amin.
Why are they leaders if they are willing to do this?
I got to know how to do the Tootsie Roll with my wife.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, okay. The Tootsie Roll, for those who are watching, the Tootsie Roll is an allegory, a symbolism of engaging in some way, shape, or form with a woman. And I guess the point that the person is trying to make is
for the doctor,
somebody's willing to do it. Now it does all Tootsie Rollers aren't equal. There's some people who Tootsie Roll a lot better than others.
Right.
There we go.
So there is more responsibility on a person who knows. But the thing I would say and push back on is if we're looking at this issue macro, like all of the issues, 100% of all engagements, all DMs, all texts, all messages, everything like that. At what percent out of all the leaders that we have are people who are just trying to be grimy, which the Imam clearly and vehemently just, disclaimed and rejected right from the beginning of the thing. Now, what's getting more into what's actually going on is people are really looking to actually push and destroy the integrity of the community because they're taking some whispers and some sips from white liberalist, LGBT, Zionistic, and
Hedonistic.
Yes.
And Dr. Halim, I just because Imam Amin had spoke, and the challenge is everybody that we have to understand. What happens is, and it was a very good question, Brother Jermaine. What happens is the culture turns to all them imams is no good. All them sheikhs is no good. We ain't listening to nothing of what y'all got to say. We're gonna lead ourselves, teach ourselves some crazy religion because one dude, you know what I'm saying, saw that package and succumbed to the temptations. That's the reality of being a human. Just because somebody isn't an imam or a sheikh does not mean, or a sheikha for that purpose, because the mirror shine both ways. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that one doesn't have human reality that I would be open to having relations. You know what I'm saying? But I can't just say all imams or we ain't listening. That's where the challenge comes about.
I really want to hear
my observation.
I follow y'all out, but I kind of, I've been in the black community a long time, except when I got Arabized for a little while. I had a long stint of Arabization. So
welcome back.
I have to be honest. Right? So
great to have you back home.
I'll be honest. I'm glad, you know what I mean.
Back on the block, though, Imam. You good? Come on.
You know, right? And that stuff don't apply to us, really. Honestly, that's some Anglo-Saxon immigrant Islam. It has nothing to do with the black people.
No, it don't.
No, seriously.
Y'all hear everybody? It don't. It don't. I don't care what y'all think. It don't.
And then why I'm saying that, because I used to frequent those circles, right? And I was on the stage. I know what that stuff is like. That don't have nothing to do with us. Mm-hmm. Most of our imams is struggling to get people to listen to them, let alone get shake abuse. Are you kidding?
Sweet talk of woman,
excuse my language. I ain't listening to that nigga. Right?
Exactly.
You're right.
Exactly.
That's what's going down.
That's right.
Right. So, so when I look at our culture, now we've lost our culture. Many of us, in an effort to be on al-haq, right? To be sunnah, to be on it, translated, that means leave my black reality. I know the feeling, right? I know the feeling. So we've adopted a culture and a mindset that has nothing to do with us, right? Now, so when you're talking about a relationship between brother Imam and brother and sister, you know, whatever her name is, This
Hopefully not,
that
brother.
was in the black church.
Mm.
It ain't no abuse.
All the time. You already hear Pastor so and so and deacons. Yep.
Brother
All
want
the
to do the
time.
Tootsie Roll, and they end up doing the Tootsie Roll.
Yep.
That's not a culture. That's just
Two
dude's
people.
desires is out of control.
Yep.
His sister Susie, or whatever name you gave her in Islam, she trying to get with the Imam. She want to be in pocket. That's what happened.
Life.
And I tell people all the time, if I was a Negro, and I'm quite sure, and I'm not like Imam Sulimaan, I don't know if I was in his shoes, I might be struggling with being a Negro.
He said he be strapping up. He be throw that them black gloves and the ski mask.
He got the big boys too. He got them regular bees.
But
Been looking this whole time.
if we were on that, you know how easy it is to get in a situation. What Will Smith call it, or which what's his name?
Entanglement.
What she call it?
Entanglement.
Yeah, you know how easy it is to get wrapped in an entanglement in our community.
Easy.
You know how many single women I got that's in my office crying the blues. Imam, I wish I had a husband like you. In other words, Imam, if you down, we can Tootsie Roll. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's real. Now the Imam, he got to be able to say, listen,
Hey, I second that emotion, brother.
yeah, I'm just being real. It ain't no, listen. All of us have heard R. Kelly. Keep it on the down low. You know, this is a reality, and sisters come with that mentality sometimes. Now, is Imam going to be a good brother, or he going to be a grimy brother? Which one? But it's available. So that abuse thing. So a sister come to me. I'll give you an example. I'm going to tell you a story. This is Black Community 101. After Jumu'ah one time, names are anonymous, right? I'm in a sister comes up to me. No, a brother, excuse me. The brother comes. I never forget this. This was my initiation to imamship in the Black community. Brother comes up to me after Jumu'ah. He says, Salaam alaikum, Imam. Salaam alaikum, I need to talk to you. Inshallah, come to the office. Get in the office. And he's easing his way in, mashallah. That cook bar was the bomb, Sheikh, man. You on it. You know, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, get to it, Negro. Right? I know where you're going. Something's up. He said, I need you to go talk to brother so-and-so and tell him his wife is no longer his wife. It's my wife, because I've been taking care of her.
Ooh.
And doing the Tootsie Roll.
Ooh.
I said,
Oh, my goodness.
Ooh.
Oh,
he said,
man, she chose me.
Right.
You already know the game, babe. What
Oh,
he say?
man.
You know the
Now,
rules,
wait a
man?
minute.
Ooh, wee.
The guy he said that about is a straight killer, right? I'm like,
Oh,
and that's
man.
why he want me to go talk to him, right?
Ooh.
Right.
I said, what you say? He said, man, he ain't doing the right thing. So, you know, I've been taking care and I've been buying groceries for the kids and I've been Tootsie rolling, right?
Oh, man.
While I'm talking to
We
this
can
dude,
handle this like men and we can get into some gangster
The
stuff.
gangster, you already know
I'm
what's
looking
up.
at this guy, right? And I'm like, I know the dude. We used to run the streets. I know what he gonna do. He find out you a dead man.
Head
Right.
busting. Yep.
So I gotta step in and I gotta intervene. And while I'm talking to this dude, the sister come bang on the door. Bang, 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 bang. She's like, hold up, Imam. Hold up, Imam. Don't let him talk for me. I'm like, what the hell is this? Right? She said, he tricked me. He tricked you. You're married. He tricked you. I don't know what to do. I said, what you better do is tell this Negro to get lost before you get him killed. Right? And
Right.
this is the mentality. She went and told him, oh, he don't do nothing for me. Why are you talking to that brother? Right? These are the,
Yes.
and I'm not pointing to no one because no one knows who it is because I knew the situation, what it would lead to. So I kept it down. But this is real stuff.
Exactly.
So now the sister says, okay, well, the sheikh, we don't have no sheikhs, right? We don't have no sheikhs. You want the proof of it? Give me some black sheikh you know. And he got a bunch of followers, and they kissing his hand and carrying his hand.
We don't revere our leaders like that. Exactly.
Right. So we don't even have that. So sheikh abuse don't apply in the black community. We don't have no sheikhs. We got sheikhs, but we don't treat our sheikhs like sheikhs.
We treat our sheikhs like the maintenance man. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying it don't happen. I'm not saying, but it's that kind of Slick Willie stuff, fake stuff. That's sister maneuvering, Slick Willie Imam, Slick Willie leader. It ain't got to do with a sheikh.
It's church stuff.
This is the common practice. So my point is, we got to stop adopting a model that doesn't work for us. Right? They don't work for us. It's not real. It's not our reality. Right? And I understand why the sister sometimes is trying to get next to the imam.
Oh, yep.
Because she's figuring the imam's a good brother. If I could be his extra wife, second wife, third wife, fourth wife, if we can make a fiqh ruling for a fifth or sixth wife, we'll do that. Right?
Yep.
That's just real. Now, so what I'm saying, so is a thing. We got to get brothers to be more responsible, right? Step up. And the imam got to realize, bro, you only can have maximum 4 wives, no concubines, no right-hand possessors.
If you are able to be just. If you can just do that, you gotta take care of it.
That's my point. I don't believe that applies to us.
But I want to ask you, Imam, do you feel like you all get a certain type of credit or praise for resisting temptation, for having integrity in the trust that people put into you in their personal lives, in their money, in their decisions, in their family, these people boo-hooing on your shoulder, everything like that? Do you feel that you, I'm not saying you have to be thanked for doing good, but again, there's levels of good here. Like if somebody's honest and integrity, even in business, we say, great things about somebody in business who does business well and professionally. So you as an imam conducting spiritual and community and religious business, do you feel that people appreciate, or a significant amount of people appreciate the fact that, man, ain't no babies popping up around this dude. Ain't this dude's holding certain things down. He's dependable, he's consistent, or what have you? Or do you feel that people take your position for granted, and you're just supposed to have this superhuman iron will?
You're just supposed to do it. I think
absolutely not. If I could, Amin. Right. And the challenge of today is everybody's an imam. I'm an imam. I'm a sheikh. You know what I'm saying? Cat went to one weekend class. Ain't even did that. Yep. You know what I'm saying? In our community, they say Imam Muhammad said every man an imam in his house. You know what I mean? So now I'm running around calling myself Imam Shake and Bake, and not understanding that this is a charge. This is a charge that we have taken on of ourselves to be responsible, to be representatives. This thing ain't easy, and and my wife will tell you. You kind of touch, and as a psychologist, Dr. Halim, you know what I'm saying? You when you're counseling people, you taking that stuff in. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know that we have all of these people pouring all of the world on me as an individual, and you think that we just that doesn't affect us, but it's absolutely not appreciated. I don't believe. One, because people don't value the position, thinking that everybody can do this job. You know what I'm saying? And that it's just giving a talk and giving a khutbah. That's all they do anyway. Anybody can give a khutbah and don't know that it's a world of other activities that we do in this service. You know what I'm saying? Sorry for ranting, but yeah, that was
I'm gonna get
serious
some more
question.
from you because
one of the things
I got to
is
follow
here,
that.
right?
Go ahead, Imam.
I'm gonna give you the sign. Now, Doc, you do research. You one of them smart guys, right? So check this out, right? That's what. Oh, that's right. Sulimaan, ain't you on your way to your doctor too?
Yeah, so Sulimaan about to be academic. He's trying to keep his stuff on the low.
I got a master's in the streets. If that count.
My sister,
my
sister brought me my course today.
I got a master's in the streets. That count.
He balanced. Look at him. He's well balanced.
Right. But here's what
I respect it.
Let's show you the example to show you what you asked about. Is it not appreciated?
Okay.
Less than 10%. It's lower than that. I just don't want to be too critical. Less than 10% of black imams have a full livable salary.
Oh, say that one more time. Say that one more time.
Less than 10% of black imams around the country have a full livable salary. Less than 10%.
I'm not showing the fade off. I'm just trying to hear better. Okay, keep going.
And not only that, those that are getting a livable wage have to be Slick Willie and better not let the people know they're getting that wage.
Slick Willie, what does that mean, Imam Amin, for all of our viewers right here? What is
he just said it? Say it again. Say that last part. Say that last part.
Yeah. The ones that are getting the livable wage have to be Slick Willie and better not tell the people how much they're getting paid.
Exactly.
So what does Slick Willie mean?
They gonna think he robbing the people.
Because Negro say, what you doing making money? Why you making money? Who is you to get paid? I work more than 40 hours a day. No time.
And they want to give you a $500
so what Imam Amin is he hit the nail on the head.
Wow.
And I'll give you an example.
Well, they want to put you how much you get paid. Put that on the wall at the masjid so everybody know how much you get paid. And at all time, crazy stuff, brother.
Here's the thing, right? Now,
the Imam support group right now. This is
so here's my point. With that being said, if you look at any of our days, because we're black imams.
Yes.
Black imam is a 24-hour, 7-day
you work
week,
harder
365 days a year. No black imam in the black community he's on call all the time.
True.
If he's not, he's a horrible, excuse the harsh language, piss poor imam. If he's not on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days in the black community, he is a piss poor imam.
Yep.
You understand my point?
I think I'm getting it. It's hard to take, but
I said it just like that. Because our community needs 24-hour maintenance.
Talk about it.
Woo.
And if you're not prepared to do that, sit your punk butt down. You're not qualified to lead.
This ain't your time. Exactly.
I said it ain't time.
Now I want.
Now that's black folks talking. I know it's public, but we're talking. That's real.
Oh,
it's real. And you know what?
Our days start bright and early in the morning, and they don't end till late at night. Every day.
Every day.
And we expected that you better be there to answer that call, despite we not giving you a livable wage. I called the imam 1 o'clock in the morning and he didn't answer my phone. Don't he get to sleep? No. He should have answered my call. I needed him.
And then they make a big fuss about it and try to throw your name under the mud because you was asleep. Iman supposed to be sleeping. He got something to do. How much you paying me, bro?
Cat ain't been married in 30 years.
Right.
Ain't been married in 30 years. Say, why you ain't here? Because I'm with my family. I have a family that I have to serve also and spend time with. They don't understand that you have to balance between your service to community and your actual family. But I mean, it's a challenge, brother. It's a real challenge.
I want to touch on it, and we're gonna jump. And I'm happy.
I hope that wasn't too harsh, Doc.
No,
you look like you got hit. Down goes Frazier look.
This is perfect, and I want to ask.
And he ain't even say nothing about healthcare, all that stuff. Don't even think about that.
Hey, what's that? What's that,
So
Imam?
what's that? Ain't no healthcare. A law
Right.
discussing
So-
your
so-
healthcare,
so
law and
I want to ask you guys this, right? And I be going through this a lot, man, because I'm happy you touched on something, Imam, about the way some of our people threw the baby out with the bathwater, right? And using the celebrity shake circuit for a minute, right? But we're gonna jump on that later. We're gonna jump on that later. Though I want to ask this question, right? Because I've been following you from years, right? And we had conversations for years. We had certain
That was a
conversations.
loaded statement.
No, we gonna jump on that though.
Celebrity shake circuit.
Let me jump. We're gonna jump on that though. But I want to say this: our people, right?
I ain't made it yet.
Our specific community has specific ills. And as a person like myself, I have never in my life been Arabized or Pakistanized or Daciized or Africanized, none of that, right? So when I go to masjids, people like me, I feel like I don't belong in certain masjids because every time I go there, people want to be, they acting like they not from where they from. I don't like that. I never was raised like that, right? And so when I go to masjids, I don't hear things that I specifically see every day in my community. I don't hear about that. I have went to black masjids. They talking about stuff in Africa more than they talking about stuff around the corner, right? I go to masjids. They never talk about certain like in our language, because I know you used to be a live duty, mommy. So you got a vision. You lived it, and you probably can understand what I'm saying. Because I ain't been on your level, but I done touched a few things. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that
what you been touching, bro? Joking.
I touch the sun and the eyes. But so
You've been touching that Tootsie Roll.
I think we need to evaluate that.
So the thing is this: we have specific ills, right? That I personally think we don't have the time to keep talking about things that's not affecting us. Particular, I know we got to go on the dean and speak yes, that is right. But at the same time, our people have things that is harming us every single day. We just talk about it, but off the air, nothing has changed in the last 40, 50 years, right? But technology. So how and as Muslims, we say that we are the vanguards of humanity, right? How are we not touching on things from our leadership? Is not touching on things collectively that's affecting us. That's affecting us internally and externally. Like how I love what y'all doing. Why is this not consistent?
I'll shoot quickly and I'll give it to Imam Sulimaan because Imam Murafti Muhammad rahimahullah, and I only learned to greatly appreciate the Imam when I became an Imam. Right? I always been on black time, so I always respect black leaders, right? Non-Muslim, Muslim, that's just me. I grew up on black time all my life, right? But the wisdom of his work, I didn't understand. When I became Sunni, I'm on the Sunnah now, right? So I think what happened is to get on the Sunnah, we were taught that we have to emulate others. And that became the standard of how good you are as a Muslim, how much you can emulate someone else. But the one who maintained that, and we'll see the results, and we're looking at Imam Sulimaan, was Imam Muhammad.
Amin.
He did an excellent job in moving us to try to follow the Sunnah and then still be ourselves and connect to our community and connect to our society.
Never lost that.
And that is, if you ask me in our time, that he was one of the greatest losses we've had. Because most people don't have his kind of vision, right? That's just real.
Yep.
Nothing's perfect. Everything can, but that model has still maintained itself to where, you know, they remain connected to who they are, right? And now we need to move that up a little bit, but still remain connected. the education and the learning has to increase. But nevertheless, we can't lose that, right? And that's a steady progress. I believe we have another 50 to 60 years of everyday 24-hour work, and we'll get it.
Inshallah.
It's not going to happen tomorrow.
Inshallah.
Because we got a lot of our leaders who are in the pockets of others, and their activity is contingent on donations. So therefore, I can't say the wrong thing because that donation might not come.
Yes.
I gotta watch my tongue.
Bingo.
You know what I mean? Ain't getting no support from nowhere else. I'm not saying no. I got friends and I got students, but they love me because of the religion and the knowledge. So they don't care what I say. They like, I love Imam Amin because he's the way he is. But remove Imam Amin, I doubt if those same donations would come to our community. Take me out and see if that money still comes. It's not. It is. And my wife remind me all the time, oh, you think they're here for us all the time. They're here for you. And that's a reality. I understand that. You know, women don't got no cut card, right? They just say it.
Time it is.
But so we have a responsibility. So I believe that's it, right? Because we're not speaking in our own reality. Because number one, we think that to be someone else, that's how you be a good Muslim. We've been fed that lie. And number two, we don't have the support from ourselves to trust in ourselves. So he feels that I better. We know Imam Sulimaan, we ain't mentioning no names, but we know how our black leaders sometimes got to dance.
We know too.
Yeah.
We've been around them. I done got into it, a few of them.
Yeah, we
in them circles too, Shay.
We you know.
So I believe that's the reason. That's just my take on it. Imam Sulimaan. I'm sorry, I do interviews too. I don't mean to.
Alhamdulillah. I mean, no. I mean, you said it, and y'all know I was gonna say it. My teacher, my Imam Warthaddin Muhammad Rahimahullah, had the blueprint, and the world is just coming to be honest about the fact, because everybody biting this blueprint now. You know what I mean? This civic engagement and all of this stuff, things that the Imam Rahimahullah knew were necessary and were going to be necessary for living Islam in America. There it is. He got it. Yes, sir. And for Muslims in America, that those strategies, you know what I mean, and the blessing of what the Imam gave the world. I mean, not just his students, gave the world. So what you're saying, Jermaine, about maintaining my knowledge of self, you know what I mean, and the levels of my knowledge of self, which includes my spiritual self, which includes my cultural self, and all of those things, you know what I mean, having the blessing of a teacher to let you know that each of those things have to be developed. You know what I'm saying? And the knowledge is the great equalizer, that I can go in your masjid and speak Fusha and a little Lehja, Shamin, a little Lehja Misri, whatever other, you know what I mean, slang that you want to talk. And I'm a black man, and I'm a student of Imam Warthaddin Muhammad, and I don't need you to be my model. You know what I'm saying? I don't need your Arabness or your Pakistaniness or whatever to be my model, because Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the model. You know what I mean? And if we all come to that unison and understanding that, you know, it's all good. You be with your leader and you be with your teacher, but at the end of the day, it's the prophet that brings us all together. But yeah, I say ditto to what Imam Amin said. It's Imam Muhammad all day. I'm a set trip on that a little bit if I can. You know.
It took me about my 30s to realize that
and was the model.
Because I almost went 5%. I'll be every other weekend. I'll be this close to going to join the NOI. Then I hear somebody they calling God, and I'll be like, you know what? I'm just gonna follow this path. Every other month, I'll think about joining the NOI.
Right.
It feel like that's the best. Plus, I come from there, but I feel like that's what's best for me. I can't really.
But you know what it is though, and we're trying, and we're working together on this. We got to have some brave leaders. The imams got to lead the way. Black imams got to man up and say, yo, we're going to get together and we're doing our thing. And we already do that. That's what we have, Ummah, and man, and things are trying, but we got to be brave. But
that's what I wanted to ask
the
you.
help of the people. I look, and let me make this plug real quick.
Okay.
We need the help of the people to do that.
Yes.
Where's your link? Where's your link for your fundraiser?
Oh yeah, Malika, put our links up. Yeah, there.
No, not that link. Take that link down.
For link. Flint, for Flint. There you go.
Yeah, for Flint. Yep.
Yep.
What you got? How much y'all got now? Y'all trying to get 3,000,
like
right?
16. We had 1,600 so far.
All right, quickly. I'm practicing my Siraj Wahaj fundraising technique.
Keep it going. Do your thing out here.
Hey, listen. Don't be shy. Negroes need to know what you got. How much you got? Put it in the box.
We got about 6. I'm gonna say because I keep
put it in the chat.
We got 1,600 so far.
In the comments. Put it in the comments. I'm trying to help y'all here.
We need 13.
And be clear, Jermaine and Dr. Halim. Let everybody know what is this fundraiser. What are we talking about?
This is
living in Pakistan.
This Saturday, right before hour or two before iftar, we're taking a whole bunch of bottled water up to Flint and handing it out. It's really that simple. And then we're gonna have iftar with Imam Hanafi and Councilman Bashir Jones is coming up. I'm putting it in the chat. That's why I'm looking away. We need 1350. Is that right?
We need 13. No, that's 1,600. You need like
he said we got
400.
Yeah, we got it.
All right, listen.
36, 14.
Right now, you got around 50-something people in this room. I don't know what you got on Facebook because I'm looking at YouTube, right? Everybody who can do it should send $100 to them right now. Y'all got Cash App? Anything? Nothing?
Yeah, Cash App down there. You got. If you want PayPal, I can put the email address for the PayPal.
What's the Cash App?
Brother Fresh.
And
take the pause.
We have.
All right, Brother Fresh. Wait a minute.
$ Brother Fresh.
Yes, sir.
Where's it at?
Right there in the scroll.
I don't see it. Okay. All right.
Remember, everybody.
What's the PayPal? Some people ask about the PayPal.
Let's put a little sunnah on it. They said the Prophet was the most generous. Kana ajwadu nas wa kana ajwadu fi Ramadan. And he was most generous in Ramadan. So put that on there and know that you're doing something, increasing your Ramadan and increasing your fast. It's a damn shame that they still got to take water to Flint.
It's crazy.
But that's the reality, that people still need that help. So let's make sure that we're doing that.
Fresh, I don't see it.
Brother Fresh.
Where's it at? Oh, there you go.
There we go.
All right, $ brother.
And this is not the first time y'all did this, right? This is not the first time this is happening.
I've been doing this since day one. I personally been doing it since day one. The brothers, we've been doing up there about.
Your name is Thomas, Brother Fresh?
Thomas Carey, yes, sir.
It just say Thomas, right?
Yeah, that's me.
I just want to make sure.
That's me.
All right.
Alhamdulillah. And Iman Hanafi, man, he take it in so much, like it mean a lot to him.
All right, check your Cash App, Brother Fresh.
Got it.
Do you see $100 from me?
Nope.
You ain't see it? Check it.
Let me see.
I ain't gonna front you off, man. Yeah.
No, I got me off. I got it.
I got you right there.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
So
I only got one device, so I'm not that sophisticated.
All right. Now here's what I'm saying. I'm not doing this. I'm poor. I just told you us imams ain't getting paid. But we got to start putting our mouth where our money where our mouth is.
Yep.
If we're going to empower each other, we got to do it. I ain't rich. I'm one of those broke African American imams, but I stay on the circuit, so I get a little money. But right
back
now,
to the celebrity circuit. Right.
Before we leave, before we get to the halfway mark, that's 6 more minutes, right? That should be done.
Yes,
that should be done.
And so far,
we entertaining each other, but we're not helping one another. That doesn't work.
Right.
One thing we learned about Imam Muhammad, if we're talking about his model, right now, it was a model of getting some bread. Right or wrong, Imam Sulimaan?
Talk about it.
Brother Hanif just said in the. That's right, yes, sir. And Brother Hanif just said in the chat he just sent $50. So thank Brother
I
Hanif
got it.
for
But
that.
Sister Isla, I hope it's Isla. Is that a brother or a sister?
Hey man, don't be talking
Isla
about my
Muhammad.
wife. Whoa,
Okay, yes.
whoa, breaks.
I'm making sure that $100 from Sister Isla.
That's
Sister,
my wife.
Sister Juanita, $25. Sister, I think Michelle Johnson. I think that's about she said it right. $100. Brother, Sister Halima, $100. That's all. That's $325. Sister Leslie, that's $125. That's $450.
Sister Leslie.
Yes.
That's my wife too.
Brother Ibn,
Where's some Atlanta people?
You done scrape my family, bro.
Get some money.
Now, he done scrape my family. Now listen, right? You done clean my house out of $300, bro.
You got that finger right there.
Hey, I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? So far we about okay. We about like 7, so we about 2,100 so far.
Yeah, that was quick in a few minutes.
No.
Here's my point. My only point is that we got
the cash app.
We
have the money, right? We have the money, but we holding it back, and that's what we're talking about. We don't want to support ourselves. Empower us. If you're doing good, you're supplying something. You're
Somebody
giving service.
They need the cash app again.
Okay, y'all need
cash app up.
Give the cash app again. They need the cash app again.
Okay, I got it.
Somebody from Atlanta give some money. Make us look good, Atlanta or Oakland. Come on now.
Atlanta, y'all got all of the money. So
yeah, you know y'all paid.
Right. From the videos that the mosque did. We're gonna talk about that too.
It ain't plastic behind them in the malls right there. That's some nice.
They're doing dawa at the entertainment establishments where the Tootsie Roll is prevalent. So that's the problem. Is that they spending it in the wrong place.
You said the Tootsie Roll. We showing our age. Wow.
25 for Sister Pamela. Brother Khalil with 60. Sister Tahira gave us 100. Abdullah 100. Brother Issa gave us 15.
There we go. There go Atlanta.
Sister Fanny gave us 100. Brother Halim 100. Sister Malika 50. Sister Layla 125. I'm gonna tally it up.
You got your money, and now we can go on and entertain, but get the job done.
Look at
and
you.
It's that easy.
Everybody had it.
It's that easy when we're serious.
I appreciate that.
Right, a little fundraiser, a little 5-minute fundraiser. That's good.
Alhamdulillah. You go ahead, Halim.
I want to look. So we were just talking about connecting who you are identity-wise and leadership, and you were making Imam Amin, you were making comments and statements about obviously how Black imams are getting paid and everything like that. So there's this money, culture, knowledge balance. I want to know, in your estimation, because I think in recent years things have changed, and this is a big question. Who are, and this isn't about being nice, and I would like you to think about this. This isn't just about who you know, relationships, being nice, but as objectively as you can, take a look at the Muslim community in America, whether it's 5, 7, 10 million of us, whatever, Black, Arab, Desi, East Asian, East African, West African, all of it. Who, in your estimation right now, 2021, 2020, 2021, moving forward, who are leading figures? Do we have a leader, or are there some leaders now and people? There's people who politically you try to push. There's YouTube sheikhs that have bajillion followers or what have you. But who do you honestly think is like are some functional leading figures, like actually getting things done and still staying connected with being Muslim in our reality in this country right now? Where do you see people sit at? And yeah, there's a lot of talent and things like that, but who's really like I'll say, like, before Imam W.D. Muhammad died, he was like, it was pretty, the way what he came out of, how he positioned himself, it was pretty clear definitely for a Black community. And there's a number of people that are going to say different things, but there's just certain characteristics being a go-to person. I will say this before I give it over to you, Imams. I classify a leader as when the ish goes down and it hits the fan, who does everybody run to? Like when things are up in the air, everybody's scared. When a brick goes through one of them Desi masjids in the suburbs, do you think they're calling themselves? No. They don't call any of their own people. They call somebody else. They call other people. And two of them you're looking at when it's up here. Okay? So who do you think, in your estimation, are some, leading people in Islam right now in America?
You mean in the Black community or all in general?
You can say both. You can say both. I would like to know your opinions about both because you were in the celebrity circuit, right?
Can I pass that to Imam Sulimaan and then come back on it? I want to throw it like a
I ain't never been
to Imam Sulimaan, and then I'll follow through. But I'm interested in hearing his.
Yeah,
I had this. Believe me, I just had this.
I put Imam Sulimaan up there because it's the biggest Black masjid in the country, and there's a lot of people, and there's things on the ground and things like that. But yeah, I just want to know, what do you?
I would like to hear his answer.
It's a very Bismillah. It's a kind of sensitive isn't the right word. It's a unique question. Because what I like to remind people, because when they asked us, like, who's the leader of your community now, right? We get that question. Now that the Imam has passed, rahimahullah, who's the leader of the community? And I like to share with people leaders like that, like Imam Warithuddin Muhammad, like Malcolm X. That era of the world has passed. Mm-hmm. I want us to think of this in a broad sense of what we're talking about historically. The era of having leaders like that in just the world, that time has passed in history, historically, right? So we'll never have another Imam Warithuddin Muhammad, rahimahullah. That'll never happen again. And the last of the dying breed, Minister Farrakhan, we'll give him his credit.
Yes, sir.
He qualifies to be in that bracket. He's the last. He's really, he's the last of that era. You know what I mean? If we're talking about Muslims, and I give the Nation of Islam their Islam. I'm not one of them crazy people. You know what I mean? He's the last. Oh, Imam, I was trying to see if I could get a reaction out of my brother. He held his. I know. No. He didn't take the bait. No. He's the last of that breed, but that era has gone. You know what I'm saying? So understand that sense. Now, as relates to what we talking about, it's just like who's doing work right now. It's Imam Amin Muhammad. It's right. Imam Jihad Safir. It's Imam Fatin Saifullah. It's Imam Hamza Abdul Malik. Yep. It's Sheikh Abdul Karim Yahya. Yep. You know what I mean? And it's and others, you know what I mean? Y'all don't send me some angry text messages because I didn't say your name. But it's these folks that's actually on the ground doing the work, actually serving the people. Yes. I said Detroit, though. That was the Detroit representative. You know what I'm saying? That's actually on the ground with the people doing the work. But those large figures that lead mass like that, that time has passed in the world, and we have to just understand that reality of history, I think.
Here's and I was having this discussion last night because I asked myself, who will you follow? Now, I followed before, so I know what I'm talking about. I grew up in the Ansar Allah community, and I know how to soldier. Right, and I would put our soldiering up against the best in the world in the Black community, and the Ansar Allah community. The soldiering we had to do, we were top-notch soldiers, right? So I know what it is to follow, to hear and obey, to my own detriment, right? But nevertheless, I understand it. And I asked myself, who would I do that for? And that goes to what he's saying. We don't have mass leaders that can. We don't got people like that no more. That have that kind of vision.
Can I chime in?
Not only that, we as a people have been tricked by the white society to think we've made it, so we don't need each other no more.
Yes.
Do you think that's a bad thing, though? Like, do you think it's a bad thing that there isn't transcendent figures like Malcolm's? Do you think it's a bad thing, or
not if we learn to work together, which we're trying, but if we don't learn to work together, I think it's a disaster.
That's what I was about to say.
Yes. Negroes
these days ain't even following themselves. You think they're gonna follow a leader?
Man.
And so if we had those, I'm sorry, ma'am. I mean, for interjecting, but the quality of followership, and if I could say that respectfully, as a person who somebody else has selected me as a leader. I'm not saying I'm a leader. It's a different. I'm an imam. Somebody else has chose me to be their leader, so I could say, speaking as a leader. People these days are so just the quality of followers. It would almost be a problem that we had if we had that. Yep. That's why Imam more than multiple times resigned from being the leader of our community because niggas is crazy. And Negroes is crazy and disrespectful and wanna be the leader and don't know how to be a follower and respect leadership. So if we did have that, it might help to develop the people, but we so messed up as a people these days, man. It's a terrible thing. Go with her, boy. It's a terrible thing if we did have that.
And the other thing you got to remember. When we had that kind of leadership, a butt kicking came with it. So you forget that point.
Talk about it.
When we had real leadership, a butt kicking came with that leadership. Now, you lay some hands on somebody, they call them the cops. Big difference.
Yep.
Right? So it was, and we had a collective mission. We had an enemy, a well-known enemy, and we followed.
Yes.
Today, you're talking about your enemy became your friend because he give you a six-figure paycheck. He's still tearing your community apart. But you getting paid. So when those elements are missing,
and they done made the Imam the enemy.
Yeah,
we already seeing it. So I want to touch on that because I come from a community, right, where I right now have me and Halim. I know for a fact myself, every community that I started back into engaging with, I initiated security. You know, so I don't get no like the imams don't get their props. People like me and Halim don't get our props either. So that's why I kind of fell back from everything, to be honest with you. Right. But at the same time, I come from the nation. I come from my uncles and aunties and them. They was all the black in the church. And I come from Imam Luqman Rahimullah. You know what I'm saying? That community. Well, we had 15, 16 years old, 14 years old. We had to stand post. We had to take note on who was going to do sutra for the night. You know what I'm saying? And even with Imam Salim Rahimullah, we just had him, his sons, like we grew up doing security. They started a security company. You know what I'm saying? Based off of what we learned growing up. So, and as I see things now, even with certain communities, it's like it's a popularity context in holding your brother down. Like I put it together, talk to cats all the time. Like, man, don't go nowhere without calling me or calling somebody that can hold you down. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm going to do something like that in the community, even just the visual look good to know like these brothers ain't nothing to play with. You know what I'm saying? It's the visual.
That's what though. When we was coming up, that wasn't a visual.
Right, it was real.
It wasn't a visual.
It was
them
real.
brothers were nothing to be played with. Period.
Yeah, exactly. If anybody crossed the line, you knew for a fact it was going to be the repercussions are going to be heavy. And that's a mental component. As I'm getting in my 40s, and I see that I know the young guys doing their thing, but a lot of that stuff went to the streets. So we crossed a lot of that stuff over to the streets. But when it came back, when I started back coming back to the masjid, it's not a habit. Then I see so much clashing with the imams to a point where they don't have respect for each other. The imams don't have respect for each other. The people don't respect the imam. I done seen the imams get people cuss out the imam. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? Like fight around the fight. And they like, man, just chill. Let them do. They just crazy. I'm like, no, what we talk. But we don't have that type of collective that collective of respect. We've lost the soldier. Like we don't have respect for the soldiers. It's all about the popularity contest, or what have you done for me lately? So saying that to say, like collectively as a group, the group of people that he just named, right? And I truly believe that it shouldn't just be restricted to imams, because again, the workers is some soldiers out here that need to be in these conversations because they leaders in their own rights. Like collectively, how man? Because you're right. You already touched on it, Imam. I mean, so I'm scared as I've said, because we already know when that collective come apart, we already know the feds is already watching everything we do.
That's just a natural, right?
Exactly. And so they come in here and they kill us. They don't just lock us up; they kill us. So
here's the point, though. That's
the
part of
it. Showed up. What happened? Like, what did I miss?
Talk about the feds.
A lot. It was like 3 seconds too.
Jermaine getting scared. That's what's happening. Go get you a dog, man.
No, it's a dude outside. That's what I was going to look at.
No,
it's a guy outside got a drone. That's what I just went up to go look at. So they might be with him.
Listen. If you're not ready to die, quit.
That's it.
You're not serious.
That's it.
If you're not ready to die, quit. You're not serious.
Yeah.
Listen, and that ain't no tough talk. That's just real.
That's real, right?
That's a reality you gotta face. But we're not serious. We just talking junk. We might as well be like the Reverend Baptist Church. Seriously.
Yep.
If you're not ready to give your life, you're not serious.
What's your belief? Yep.
Now we hope we don't die. We hope we don't have to fight.
That's right.
But let me give you an Islamic Sunnah reality for all of us. There is a such thing as a Dajjal. There is a such thing as Al-Mahdi. There is the return of Sayyidina Isa, and it's ultimately going to be a fight. Get ready.
Yep.
Facts.
It's ultimately going to be a fight.
Facts.
Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now, maybe we don't want to live to the fight, but it's going to happen. So, and it ain't, you don't have a choice in the matter, right? You don't have a choice. I'll give you an example. If we talk about white supremacy, that's real, right?
It's very real.
Yes, it is.
They showed us. I was talking to my brother. My son's a police officer. I want to tell you the story real quick. I'm sorry to take up a lot of time.
No, we need this.
But you got an imam. Imams like to talk.
That's true. That is true.
I'm gonna show you something. My son's a police officer.
Hey, you know,
he's a police officer. So me and my brother. Now we're talking. My older brother, right? We're talking about white supremacy. And my brother, he thinks I'm radical, right? He's not Muslim, but he thinks male guide him. He thinks I'm radical. He tells me that it ain't gonna be a civil war. I believe we're on the brink of a civil war. It's just a matter of time. That's just my personal opinion.
Okay.
This was a week before the raid on the Capitol. 1 week. So we was talking about the election and all that. And so my son's a police and he's down there in Maryland. So he's close to DC, right? And my brother's like, oh, your uncle, your dad, he's crazy. He think that everybody going to follow law and order. I said, man, you crazy. I said, when they get mad enough, they going to disregard all that stuff, right? And the next week, and I didn't know what was happening. He calls me on the phone, ringing my phone off the hook. I'm like, yo, what's up? He says, yo, man, turn on the news. The white folks that took over the camera. Look,
The TV inside of the Musaf.
right? They took over the Capitol. You saw it. What about when they turn that on the black community? What you gonna do? You gonna let them come in your house and destroy you, or you gonna end up fighting? That's a reality.
Yep.
I know what it is.
So that's just a reality. We pray to Allah that it never happened.
That's right.
But it can happen overnight.
Yes, it can.
And I lived overseas. I seen where things will be normal today and tomorrow is upside down. I was talking to, y'all know Noor Sanders, right? Noor,
Y'all know. I know.
Lebanon.
Yep.
Noor said that they was getting $1 for 1,500 Lebanese money, right? Now is $1 to 15,000 of their money, and that happened like overnight. So the world can change quickly. So what I'm saying that to just say, we're going to have to realize that there's going to be, to stand for truth, some sacrifice. That's all my point is. So when we talk about Malcolm and we talk about Imam Wolf, these leaders knew that they were always on the front line of their life to be at stake. Alhamdulillah, everybody didn't get assassinated, but that's a living reality.
It happens.
Every time Imam Sulimaan get on that minbar,
and can I add something?
Georgia, let me share one point, Imam. When he gets on that minbar in Georgia, in Atlanta, while he's on that minbar, there's some radicals waiting to execute black folk, and he's on their list. Now, if he got a good security, he's safe. But if he sleep, one day he may sleep, and they be coming through that front door. That's just a reality.
Alhamdulillah.
So do like I do, lock the doors.
Sulimaan, you touched on that too. Like you did that cookbook. I remember that day when something happened. You was like the Stand Your Post cookbook went viral, right? You did the Stand Your. I'm like, oh man, that's my type of shake right there. I want you to touch on the same topic.
All of our security is armed all the time. That day I told him to do open carry. It's most of the time it's concealed carry, but that day I told him to do open carry. That was after New Zealand. That was after New Zealand.
Oh yeah, we was asking for him. Woo!
And you know what I'm saying? And this is all in the challenge of leadership, because that's what you guys are talking about. That's what the question is in this challenge that we have of leadership. And that's a call that you have to make sometimes as a leader. We get criticized why you got people with guns in the man, read the Quran. And that was the point that I was making, is that the ayah that's given actually spells out how to pray armed when you're under attack. But we so hell bent on attacking the Imam and thinking that he don't know what he's doing and making some bad decisions, that he's actually following what Allah says and what the Prophet has exemplified in Quran. And I just wanted to say one more thing, because I take it personal, you know what I mean? Again, as a person that people have chosen to be their leader. When everybody, it's the challenge of everybody thinking that this will sound, some people ain't gonna like how it sounds, but that's okay. Everybody ain't on the same level as the leader, man. Allah has willed and chosen for this person to be the leader of the group, but I think that, you know what I mean, that I'm on the level, and just because I gave a talk at my whatever or something, that's not the case. And we have to again start respecting leadership. Going back to Dr. Halim's question, if we got to just respect the leaders that we got. You know what I mean, and value the leaders that we have, and stop trying to, you know what I'm saying, stay in your lane, play your position, and support the ones that Allah has developed to be that,
I gotta ask you this while there is people on. This banging this week. I told you 2 o'clock was better. Anyway, I gotta ask you this, both of you, honestly, because in the Black community, you got this in other ones, but specifically in our community, we have that issue that you talked about and touched upon about everybody thinking that they are an imam.
Just stand right here.
Detroit, we got 175 imams.
Exactly. Now, men and women. Okay, men and women. Same thing. No, I'm just being.
Imam Sulimaan, did you catch that?
There's people on watching right now.
They know.
I want people. Okay.
It's a damn shame and it's ridiculous, and I'm a curse on that one.
I want to ask you. I want to. No. I want to ask you. No, because I need you to educate me and educate us. But I'm saying this from Dr. Halim. Just because you have an opinion about Islam and you read 2 lines of something in English that is 1,000 years after what the Prophet said in a whole nother language, just because you have an opinion and emotion and you feel some type of way about something, it does not make you an authority on Islam. I don't care how long you've lived. If you have not put a certain amount of work, a certain amount of study, and in actuality have been given permission, have been given something from a person of knowledge. I couldn't be a doctor myself until another doctor signed off and said, your work that you have done to this point in your life makes you a doctor. Welcome, Dr. Halim Naeem. You're one of us right now because you have done a certain amount of work, a certain amount of whatever. Same thing goes with Islamic scholars. Same thing goes with imams or what have you. Some people don't get that. So I want to know from you too. Okay, people can choose and want you to be Imam Amin because you're good looking. You're trustworthy. They might like your haircut that morning. They might like the shoes you have or whatever. People can choose you to lead them for all types of reasons. But I want you as not just educated, studied. You're not just imams. You're actually shuyukh, which is a different level of Islamic scholarship. You have gone and sacrificed and studied and have been given permission to teach certain things and to say certain things about Islam from people who have gone through that process before. So tell the people, the 38 or some odd people who are on live right now and whoever else is on Zoom or whatever other platforms we have, what does it take, okay, to actually be an imam? Like, what does it actually take to lead the level of communities that you lead? What do you see in your experience right now with everything you have learned? What does it take to be an imam? Please tell me.
For me, love.
Love that.
That's it.
Love it.
You gotta love your people.
Love
it. Come on, our communities.
Love it.
Because it ain't nothing else in it. If you don't love the people you serve, it ain't worth it. You could go do something else to get fame and money. You don't got to put up with all this stuff.
That's true.
So that's one thing.
Yeah, but knowledge.
Now, in terms of knowledge, I'm gonna be honest. Now you don't want to answer to that. Ain't none of us qualified, bro. None of us. I said none of us are qualified.
Okay.
None of us, knowledge-wise. Because knowledge is of levels, right? Now, what I would suggest, there should be a minimum amount of knowledge every imam know.
That's what I'm asking. Yeah, what is that type of thing?
And the way to do that, that's a whole nother discussion. We need another program. No, seriously. That's not, we both studied overseas, myself and Imam Sulimaan. That's not an easy task, right? And we don't have the facilities yet in our communities to facilitate that. So I'm gonna give you just a basic thing. You need to know sound Islamic tenets of faith.
Yes.
You should have studied at least at a minimum 3 books in the science of Aqidah, word for word, with a teacher who authorized you after you finished. You should follow a school of thought. You need to learn a complete book from At-Tahara to Mu'amalat to all of the rules, line for line, word for word, finish with a teacher, be authorized. You should do in spirituality books in spirituality. You should know some basic Arabic. You should have studied it. You should know some Quran. You should know some hadith. You should know science of hadith. All right, that's all sound great. Who's going to teach us all that stuff? Where's the opportunity for the average black imam to get that? You don't even support him. How are you going to pay for it? My education cost at least $70,000 to $100,000 minimum. Sulimaan, I think you running that big tab yourself, right?
That master's degree.
Minimum. My books alone.
Alhamdulillah, yes.
Just my books, tens of thousands of dollars. Just my books. Right? Come on, man. We don't got that kind of bread. Ain't nobody supporting us like that. So I don't know if we should put that standard on us. So I go to the love part and then build.
I love that, man.
I mean, be real.
I love it.
And I'm gonna add to what Imam Amin is saying. Love and selflessness. I'm gonna add one too.
Ooh, okay.
Love it.
Selflessness, because as we've been talking about through this cold conversation, we are not appreciated for what we do.
Yep.
And you know what I mean? Them few old pioneer sisters that pat you on the back and tell you doing a good job. Alhamdulillah, we really appreciate that. But for the most part, you know what I mean? You got to be selfless, because I mean, if it was selfish, don't nobody want to be treated how we're treated. Don't nobody want to be disrespected the way we're disrespected. Don't nobody want to be, I mean, like, if you're sane, but I mean, it's only because we do this because because I mean, I believe, you know, Allah has selected us to do this work, and that we're selfless. Now I'll add to everything Imam Amin just said, and I'm flipping back and forth looking at the chat. Somebody said we need counselors, right? And I'm going to toot my own horn only because it's an accomplishment that I've done, and I encourage my colleagues to do it. Alhamdulillah, I just completed a Master's of Divinity from Bayan Islamic Graduate School that teaches pastoral care, that teaches counseling skills. So I'm adding some other things. What does it take to be an imam? And to go back to the whole spiritual abuse thing, you come to this dude and he don't even know how to. Now I got an actual psychologist on the line, so I mean, I got to be careful what I say. Don't know counseling 001, let alone 101. Negro don't even know how to speak good English. You know what I'm saying? And you expect him to give you, so having some type of ability to give some counseling skills, accounting, because, you know, particularly in our masajid, the imam is responsible for a budget. I'm responsible for over $100,000 budget. I got 9 people on the payroll. Accounting, you have to know, and this is stuff that people don't know. This is what imams do. We sign checks. Imam Amin, right? You know what I'm saying? We got a banker. I go to the bank account, to the Bank of America around the corner. The lady know me. She know me for Hodge Pros, but she also knows that I'm the director, CEO of this corporation that I'm on these papers for. You know what I'm saying? So accounting, pastoral care, clinical pastoral education, all of these are skills that come into play when we're serving in these particular roles. It ain't just giving no kupa. And again, I'm going back to taking it personal. Cats think that you get on your live stream and you up there rambling, you know what I'm saying, messing up your Arabic and all out of context with your ayats. No, sir, you're not an imam, brother. You're a good dude. But you know what I'm saying? This club is before you can, you know what I'm saying? And what else that it takes? And I'm gonna add this one because I was just talking to the assistant imam here. You gotta have some people that recognize you as an imam. That's what what Dr. Halim was just saying. What is it? Peer review, Dr. Halim? Who said you? Where is the people that say you an imam? You just self-appointed one day. I'm Imam Sulimaan.
Right.
It don't work like that.
The pastor say, the reverend say, I had a dream. I got called to the ministry. I had a dream. So alhamdulillah, man. I want to let you guys know at the 1:30 mark. I appreciate you guys, man. I don't want to hold you up too long.
That's it, man.
No. Hold on. Well, we got to shout our sponsors. I got to shout my sponsors out.
We got to get your masjid out there.
We got to get your masjid out. So for the most part, I want to shout out. We have Brownages.
Day oneers.
Solution. Also this week we have my brother Dr. Khalid, Dr. Hakeem with Black
History Mobile 101.
History Mobile Museum 101, and he donated $100 for the cause for Flint, but he also the sponsor for the day. So look him up on his name is Black History Mobile Museum 101. Black History 101 Mobile Museum. Look him up on Instagram and Facebook. And alhamdulillah, he travel around the country, sometimes parts of the world, to teach people about our history. A lot of times people throw away things, and he found it, dusted up, and he created an exhibit. And he had created a career out of that exhibit. He is a doctor. So he's a scholar at that too. So alhamdulillah, may Allah preserve him. He always been the one to support. He was a guest on our show before. We had a banger of a season ending, and he was on that show. Alhamdulillah, may Allah preserve him for that. And we ought to shout out brother Ashir Kirk and his beautiful business of Design Pro Web Solutions. He do all of our graphic design and the flyer. A beautiful brother, and again, Black owned, taking care of the people. May Allah preserve him. Look up Design Pro Web Solutions on Instagram and also on Facebook. To reach out to, they give you 100%.
And Measure Tones. Measure Tones is a Tajweed company.
Right. But he didn't pay for that. So
my bad.
I'm getting no shout out.
We got to shout out man, my man Imam.
Take that one back. Take that one.
That's coming out your.
Yeah, you want that shout out? Pay for it.
Yeah,
Imam Rashid Maki and his wife Intisar Bashir. They started Brownages. It became a worldwide phenomenon, from Beyonce sharing it to Lupita Nyong'o sharing it. All type of people sharing it. Alhamdulillah. And Brownages is for us, by us, with us in mind. They say you can't put 100 years. You can't put a band-aid on 100 years of racism. You know what I'm saying? Right. This is for us, by us. So if you got get your Brownages from. Look them up on Instagram and Facebook. So alhamdulillah, I want to let you update on how much we put in. My numbers could be off a little bit because I was trying to work this count, but so far we put in about 2,250 just today.
That's
so we almost $4,000. Talk beer.
Allahu Akbar. That's right, Black
man. You got my cash app, right? You can send me my cut cash app.
I got you.
Later.
I got you. So alhamdulillah, man. This has been amazing.
You know, one thing I like about this.
Yes, sir.
And I always push. It shows us what we got in our pockets when we serious. We have. We could do everything we want to do ourselves. All we got to do is be serious.
Yes, sir.
These things are easy to do when we're serious.
That's right.
You know, we got it. We just got nowhere to put it. That's all.
That's good.
Alhamdulillah. That's good.
We got to believe in the good brothers and the good sisters for the most part.
Now the challenge is make sure that money goes to Flint and only a little bit go to y'all fund.
I already got it.
Imam, you know when the camera go off, we only needed 1,600, but
we're gonna show you the water.
But you know what? For the most,
Allah is the provider.
$1,000 bought us 10 pallets of water.
Yeah,
1,000. Right?
So
just think about 4,000 is going to do. So this is going to be truckload. This is going to be one of our biggest loads I took up there. And again, I've been going up there since the day one. And every time we go up there, Imam Hanafi, may Allah preserve him, one of our leaders. I'm definitely a soldier for Imam Hanafi, right? And every time he called me, I'm on the go. And alhamdulillah, I hope you guys run into him and kick it with him. That's one of our elders and one of our leaders here. A very important person for our ummah. He was under Imam Jamil. And so when you guys come to Detroit, I'm going to take you up to Iman Hunter because he loved to meet the people. He would love y'all to death. He would love y'all to death. So alhamdulillah, may Allah preserve
absolutely.
Him. So alhamdulillah, if anybody in the comments got any questions, please post the question.
So many people and so many questions.
And we appreciate everybody that's here, man. This has been awesome. So you got any questions, post it. Until then, I want to talk about, you touched on something, Mom, before we get to questions about how we don't take care of each other, right? And so I got this shirt. My man Ox said we don't negotiate with poverty. It's my man Musa. He started a clothing line called Aki Masita. So we grew up in the era, right, where we had cats that manipulate. I don't want to know that's spiritual abuse, but this pious poverty thing, right? The pious poverty. So in that it had manipulated where they had sisters staying in abandoned houses. You know what I'm saying? They had brothers not taking no trade, no job, not building on their communication skills to have it. Some of the tales that I seen when I grew up was some of the other people came from other communities telling us to quit our jobs, you know what I'm saying, to go on the path while their kids is the best students and getting all the education in the world. Exactly. So speaking on that, like, how can we reverse that mentality of power? Because that's a trigger for me. I never want to hear nothing about no poverty and piety. You know what I'm saying? How many I understand the sacrifice to Waco, and I went through that myself. I lost everything, but I want to get a real understanding of, like, how can we push to Waco without saying like you only way you're gonna be pious if you poor, super poor, and especially in our community, like the language gets so misconstrued.
Imam Sulimaan.
You gotta go, Imam. Amin.
I'm having some technical difficulties. Go ahead.
Okay. I think the problem to all of this is we got to take back the narrative of Islam in our communities. Black leadership needs to be leadership. Muslim leadership, I'm talking about.
Yes.
And have vision, have determination, and be fearless. Fearless, courageous, almost to it borders on arrogance. That's how bad we need it. You heard what I said? Don't be arrogant. Almost that confidence, that fearlessness almost borders on arrogance. Because we've been the other way. And the other way is put ourselves down, inferiority complex, intimidated by others. So you got to be a lion because we've been getting devoured by wolves. So I just think we need to reverse that. Once we reverse that, and then we learn our deen, because a lot of this is just you don't understand the deen, right? So someone who's telling us, because they're, like you said, they're teaching us one thing and they're monopolizing off of our ignorance.
Yes.
So we got to reverse that. And I think once we do that, empower one another, support one another, not see your success as my failure. Your success is my success.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So I don't come, and we shouldn't come. I'm going to support you. You're going to support me, and we're going to watch each other build. If you're successful, you're going to show me how to be successful. Because we got to start thinking national. And we got to see ourselves as a country. The black community and the Muslims are a part of the black community. Hey, black Muslims, you're black.
That's right. We talk. Yes.
You are part of the black reality.
Yes.
We are a country within a country. They keep telling us that when we won't believe it and catch the message.
That's what Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. That's right.
Once we understand that, that doesn't mean we hate you. To love me don't mean I hate you. I love me, and I want to take care of me and build me so that I can one day be an assistance to you too. I think that's got to be so we have to go the other way in extreme pursuit of our independence. We have become Muslim, Islamic, mental, spiritual slaves. We have to get freedom. Once we get freedom, then we can empower ourselves. But we got to get off the plantation. We went from the white plantation to the immigrant plantation.
The Arab and Desi plantation and the African plantation. So, alhamdulillah.
That was a shot.
Alhamdulillah.
Immigrants, right?
They're all immigrants.
Americans are special people. Ain't nobody like us around the world.
Nothing, man. We are our own people. We're our own breed, and we need.
And that's not haram.
It's great. I love it.
It's not haram to look up for yourself.
Pretty awesome, actually.
I love it. I don't want to be like nobody.
I love it too.
Right. I love Malcolm. I love Imam Warfdim. I love Elijah Muhammad. I love Noble Drew. I love me. I don't want to be nobody but me. You know what I'm saying? From nowhere. I don't have to.
I want to tell you a story. Right? One guy, and you know, one of our brothers, may Allah reward them, one of our leaders, because I was on the circuit, right?
Yeah, I know.
So they said, wait a minute, was that a shot, bro?
No, you got it. You got to shake. You got
a shot.
A 4-5, not a 9.
You got to shake.
Guy came to me. He said to me, he said, yeah, Masjid Muhammad can be our sister organization. I looked at this joker. I wanted to smack him. I ain't going to be lying. I'm telling you. Like, what the hell are you talking to? Right? Yes. I said, let me explain something to you. You just became a Muslim. Masjid Muhammad was established in 1955. We got successive generations of leadership in Muslims. What makes you think we gonna be your sister?
Talk.
Are you kidding? I didn't mean it like that, Imam. Not yes, you did. You might not realize what you meant or what you were saying, but let me tell you. No, because you got bigger donors than me, then I'm going to subject myself to you crazy. Don't care how much money you got. You understand my point?
Yes.
Got it.
Yes, and that's the thing. The money and that
you just disrespected.
Yep.
For all of the work of my people since 1955 in my city.
And you know why? I'm gonna tell you why. Because they actually, deep down, they haven't gotten rid of their hatred and their enslaved perception of us. They think, and people like that, and whether the person had black skin or not, his mindset was brown and sandy. But they think that everything was supposed to, no matter how old our organizations, our institutions, the civil rights, the laws, the freedoms and the regulations, that we literally put blood in the streets for. Okay? They think that that's just supposed to be the red carpet. Our blood is supposed to be a red carpet to whatever glorified establishment and how do I say, spiritual and mental fellatio they give to their white colonizer. Okay, that is what it's supposed to be. It's in the mindset, whether it's a black person, what have you, dealing and indoctrinating themselves in these organizations. They think that you and all previous generations of you and your nonprofits and institutions are supposed to set up and do this stuff and serve and say, here you go, master. Sorry, go ahead.
Doc, I only got a GED. You got to translate some of that stuff.
Yeah, he going to soliloquy.
PG-13, but basically they think we're supposed to set things up with our blood so they could go down on the white man, their colonizer. Okay,
I got you, Doc.
That's what I was trying to say. But now it became rated R. Sorry.
Let's tell Imam Sulimaan is having some technical difficulties. Inshallah, he join us again. But as of right now, I see my mama posting stuff, and I'm disagreeing with everything she's saying, but she's still my mama. But alhamdulillah, from Brother Hanif out in Oakland. He asks, how do the imams see us regarding the status we once held, but has somewhat diminished with Black America?
Get in the streets.
Mm.
That's why I asked you before we was talking.
Mm-hmm.
You on the block?
Yeah.
Right? Go back to your people.
There it is.
Serve your people.
Try to take me down.
All right. You got to go to the worst neighborhoods. The worst neighborhoods. And you got to go hang on the corner with them.
That's right.
Right? You got to go get those people whom others told you to run from, who are your people.
Mm.
You got to go in the poorest neighborhoods and be with them and feel their pain and feel their suffering and empower them.
Yes.
And then once you do that, you're going to have a feeling. You're going to have a connection because you feel their pain. You with them. You deal with it. Right? You know, one of the places where we serve in our community is in one of the largest projects in Atlantic City. We have an apartment in the project where we do the service out of. And we would go from door to door, knocking door to door, serving cooked meals to the residents. Not letting them come to us, we going to them. Knock on their door with a menu and take their order. And then come back with a hot meal delivered for the whole family.
Mm.
You gotta care, man.
That's right.
That's it.
You know, now that's work. But if you want to build a nation, that's the work it's going to take.
Gotta start with love. That's it.
And they may not embrace Islam. They may only realize that somebody care, and that's a start.
That's it.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Some of our people just need a hug, man.
For Sister Nora, she said, I want Imam Sulimaan, can you answer this question? Where do we need to begin to strengthen our communities?
He just said it.
He said it, yeah.
Said it.
Well, Imam Sulimaan, you can
tell me how this sounds. Does this sound choppy?
You sound great. You sound good. You sound good.
You good.
Okay, alhamdulillah. I would answer that question. Where do we need to start? We got to start inside of ourselves. We got to start strengthening our own selves, our own hearts. We got a lot of diseases of the heart, man. We got a lot of problems inside of ourselves, you know. And what those communities had previously, that they were able to build a nation, build empires, is they loved each other. They actually cared about each other as humans. You know what I'm saying? We're so busy competing with each other and trying to tear each other down. We gotta just start loving each other. So where do we start? It's with loving myself, actually healing myself, developing myself, and then loving my brother, loving my sister, and knowing that we are family in building. It ain't gonna happen from a class. It ain't gonna happen from a, you know what I mean, from signing no form or none of that stuff. It's gonna start from just actually loving myself, loving each other, and wanting to actually be a community and build a community by being. That's what I would say.
Do we have any more questions, Malika? Good answers, though. Love is always what's one thing we push on the Good Brother. We love, and definitely gotta love who you teach, man. You gotta love who you teach. Gotta love who you touch, and that's one of I love it. You can't see that. We saw that. Where do we strengthen our youth? We talked about that, Imam, and this is kind of the same question, but where do we strengthen our youth? Post that again, Malika.
We need mentoring, a lot more of it, and we need to be trained in mentoring, right? So, like, that's everybody got it. Mm-hmm. I had a talk after Juma. I'm a black man. We get a lot of stuff. So there was some people having some conflict. There was one young brother, right? Oh, hold up. Imam Sulimaan, take this. I got to charge my phone, my computer.
I'm about to die.
Oh, we thought you about to jump up. I was like, oh man, it is Atlantic City.
I was like, oh,
It looked like Imam. Now he like Imam and Sulimaan done had a little.
Oh, yeah, he's paused up. You paused up, Imam. Oh, the Feds really watching today.
Yeah, they heavy.
Start banging.
Yeah, they done got in all of a sudden. I missed it. What was the question?
Why don't you start banging?
The question is, how do we? And this is a good question. I think we talked about this before too. Where do we strengthen our youth focus? Because I see less and less joining the community.
Yeah, you know what I would say, and I'm gonna give my business a shout out if y'all could hear me.
Yeah,
Hodge Pros, you know.
Hey, he paid for that.
Exactly. I was about to say, you don't say the name.
Just on Hodge. And so it's the Ibrahim model. It's the Ibrahim and Ishmael model that it has to be done together, and you have to respect each other's mind and each other's contribution. You know what I'm saying? Abraham respected Ishmael, invited him to assist him in doing the work. Ishmael respected his father and assisted his father in doing that work. And so that's that cross-generational pollination, to use a fancy word. And I know that ain't the right word, but you know what I mean? You got to have that cross-pollination between the generations. And it's also, you got to respect these youth in that it's a whole different world of like the insanity that this generation has to deal with, that you didn't have to deal with, that they got every pornographic site in the world in their pocket. And I'm just using that as an extreme. That's the difficulty that this generation has to deal with, right? That affects their mind. But we have to respect their creativity, respect the fact that they might want to wear skinny jeans and are not a homosexual. If I can use that model, you know what I'm saying? It's the fashion of these days.
I got a pair of skinny jeans, but keep going. You know.
Yeah. And I was wanting to talk to you about that too. But go ahead, Iman.
But
keep talking.
I'm only using these examples to say it's easy for us to criticize this generation because they like weirdos and got a lot of strange stuff going on. But you know what I mean? We have to accept them where they at in their journey and assist them grow and develop, and not try and just, beat them into looking like we think they're supposed to look and fit how we think they're supposed to fit, and assist them be comfortable in the community process. That's what I found to be effective.
It works. And me and Halim, we work directly with the youth and build those programs up. And the thing about it is that we were talking about that off the air. The situations, only thing to change more so is the technology. The situation is not different.
Exactly.
We was kids. We know we went through it as children. You know what I'm saying? And we know that when adults talk at you and not to you, and we know how intelligent we was when we was young. So how all of a sudden we get to a certain age, we just forget that you was a kid, or we forget how intelligent I was, and we try to play on their intelligence. And that's something that they lose respect for when you try to play on their intelligence. I'm gonna another question for Sister Danae. A lot of women are raising the youth alone. We are working around the clock to provide, and our youth are suffering because alhamdulillah. That's not a question, but mashallah.
That's what my point I was going to make is that a lot of us, we all got different experiences, right? But if I go back to what made me be a disruptive youth, right? I ain't had no mentors. My mom was in the projects doing it by herself, right? We was raised by the neighborhood. Now here's my thing. We are much more mature, advanced, educated, prosperous. We got to take, especially black men, Muslim black men, we got to take some of these youngsters by a hand.
Yep.
Right? And I was telling a story about they was beefing in some people and young brother and older people. And I told the older brother, I said, listen, man, why don't you stop trying to make him tough? He's not tough. And what you're doing is making him have to be tough. Why don't you make him be productive? You trying to son him. You busy trying to son him. And all he learned around, don't let him son you. And he wants to be your son, not to be sunned. You follow the difference?
Oh, I got it.
Right? He wants to be your son, not be sunned. And I think we got to start looking, as I saw somebody put, it takes a village to raise a child, especially a young black man.
That's right.
We got to become that village around the country. One of the projects we're working on soon as this pandemic, and so we can put a plug. Can I put a plug, Imam?
Depends on how much you're paying. No, go ahead. I'm just
Yeah, go ahead. You got it. You got it.
Enough money for you guys, man.
You got it.
We're working on, as Ummah, there are 5 masjids and others that work with us, but Imam Sulimaan, Imam Jihad Safir, Imam Fatin, and Imam Hamza Abdul Malik and myself, when this pandemic give us a little break, we did it before the pandemic, we were planning, but we got hit with the pandemic. We're going to go around the country as imams and start to reach from community to community to do that work. That's a project we have that we're working on. And it's something all of us, we've committed to it. We met, we hung out, we had a lot of fun, some good barbecue that we got to go back and get, bro. I mean, like, you know, and all work. And we just need others to join, right? And when I mean join and support that effort, so that we can begin to have a model of black, positive men, Muslim men working together for the betterment of our community. We'll get those young brothers, the youth, when we start doing that.
From Auntie Mariam, alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum. Imam's plea. We're gonna do the rapid fire too. We want it down. I don't want to keep y'all too long.
Why not? Let's roll.
Oh, please discuss what's at stake.
I'm not important. I don't got nothing to do. That's Imam Sulimaan.
I know. He's trying to say all of it.
You have like 5 conversations. I know you got something to do. For the future of the African American, please discuss what's at stake for the future of African American community and its future generation. We do not prioritize studying Islam with teachers and making learning a priority in our homes and families. Rapid fire. Who can answer that?
Say that again.
In 20 seconds.
Imam Sulimaan, you got that?
What's important about
everything is at stake.
Yeah,
the whole world is at stake. Our lives is at stake. But I would just say, when we say prioritize teaching Islam, that we don't think that's just religious text. That's just spiritual text. Islam is our whole life. Making money is Islam. Mental health is Islam. Self-care is Islam. All of that is Islam, and we should prioritize that whole thing. And what's at stake is our future. Whether or not we're going to be people in the future or not, if we're not prioritizing that. If I understood the question properly.
Alhamdulillah. Imam Amin from Imam Rashid Makhdi in Columbus, Ohio.
That's Imam.
Yeah, it's Imam Rashid Makhdi.
Well, I know where the money in his masjid is going. Look at that uniform he got on.
No, yeah, he don't like one of the imams don't like to be called Imam.
He don't like
He's
to be called
definitely
Imam,
Imam of greater Central Ohio.
He looking sharp.
Was there a specific event that occurred? He don't like to be called Imam. But was there a specific event that occurred that made you want to be an Imam, or did it organically happen?
Our Imam died after 30 years, and the people unanimously nominated me to be the Imam. That's how it happened.
Allahu Akbar.
The Imam died after 30 years, and I was the assistant Imam, and they moved me up. That's how it happened.
So what made you want to be an assistant Imam? Because that's not a small thing either.
Right.
I was ordered to do it. My sheikh authorized me and told me go do it.
Okay. So somebody just told you. All right.
You learned, you studied, go do the job. Get to work. And I said, I hear and I obey.
And now I'll talk now.
Right on. So alhamdulillah, man. Our producer says she got something to do. Yeah, so we're gonna hold her another 15-30 minutes. So
I'm just enjoying your company. I'm sorry. I got things to do. I'm just having fun. So you know, sometimes it's just stress. Now we get to have fun. I like to have fun.
Yes, sir.
I just don't get to have fun oftentimes.
Well, welcome to Good Vibes with the Good Brothers. We're gonna welcome you back. You're gonna be a recurring host. Guest, inshallah. So look forward to that. So alhamdulillah, again, we about to close. And
I'll send my scheduler with the form and the amount. That was one free. The rest costs money.
We didn't see what made Imam Sulimaan want to be an imam. Real good. What made you want to be Imam Sulimaan?
Well, I still don't know if I actually want to be an imam, but
like
similar to Imam Amin, I had the opportunity to study in a university. My community invited me to teach, and I keep stressing that. Cats calling yourself an imam. It's some people that asked us to do this. We didn't just appoint ourselves. And so that was in Oakland first, my hometown in Oakland. Imam Fahim Shoaib, one of my teachers, invited me to assist. People were comfortable with that, and the rest is history from there. But I definitely didn't just wake up and I'm Imam today.
You call to the pulpit. You have a moment. Alhamdulillah. Well, subhanAllah, this is
teaching and people inviting.
This has been one of another highlight for us, man. And we've been dropping some hammers, man. Last week was one of my personal favorites. All of them is great, but this is right here to see our people, to see their leaders, and to see their leaders genuinely are human beings being human. Because sometimes I don't understand. Some people like a mentality would think your leaders or your imams or with that titles, you're supposed to be a Muslim robot. But the thing about it is that to get to the people, you got to know the people and be amongst the people.
Exactly.
People got to relate to you, and relating don't mean you got to go out there jive talking, but they know for a fact that when you're coming at them from the heart. So I truly appreciate y'all, and I appreciate y'all coming. I appreciate you, Imam Amin, for helping us raise his money.
Yes,
it's very important. And I'm gonna plug. I like to plug my brothers, and I'm gonna plug y'all with Imam Hanafi up in Flint. And I want to shout out.
I ain't help y'all raise no money. Only Amin help y'all raise money.
I want to shout out brother Amin Muhammad for helping.
See how thankless he is. You didn't get no credit. You didn't get the symbol. See how thankless he is. I'm thanking you, Imam Sulimaan.
Imam Sulimaan, thank you so much, man. Y'all movements, and we reached out. I personally reached out to y'all, and we had agreement on reaching out to y'all because we know y'all movement. I just respect y'all moves. We know y'all movements. We know y'all love y'all people. We know for a fact that y'all love y'all people. Again, I'll say it again. We know for a fact that y'all are putting in the work in the streets, and people have admiration for you, right? Even from the young people, from the old people have admiration for you. Our people need to see that, and alhamdulillah, they think they all the time that our enemies try to find ways to come in and disrupt what we got going on. But alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, the soldiers gonna always keep soldiering, and we soldiers. Alhamdulillah,
we love you. We love you, Brother Jermaine. We love you, Dr. Halim, and we thank you all for the invitation. Alhamdulillah, it's an honor. It's really our honor to be here with you. Alhamdulillah.
And now we're gonna close it out with a good word. Unless I got some short words I want to share before we get the good word with the good doc. So Dr. Halim, he's a psychologist, so we got to get the good word for him because he take in all this stuff and then he spit it out. So alhamdulillah. So you got any short things you want to say before we get to Dr. Halim? Encouragement for the people and whatever. Either one who want to go first?
Who, me?
Yeah, I said you got any show before we get to doc. We got the good word of the good doc. We close the show out with Dr. Halim.
Doc, we need counseling. Can we get it like a discount black rate, which means free for a couple sessions? We need a good black Muslim doctor. We do, seriously.
Invite the good brother.
I mean, and it'll eventually turn into some money. But we need some some discount, like fly you out and have some serious sessions. Okay. You get paid to fly out. We get you a nice hotel.
Oh, okay.
No Tootsie Rolling. So I know you think Atlantic City, no Tootsie Rolling. We ain't doing none of that.
No, I'm not Tootsie Rolling.
Atlantic City is super hood, man.
But we'll fly you out, put you in a nice hotel, get you some food, and let's talk to some youth. We need some Muslim doctors
for you
take on these mental health issues.
For you and your community, you put something like that together. We will do that for you and your community. I know Atlanta got money, so don't come at me, Imam Sulimaan. So yeah.
No. Here's what I mean, though. I would also like to arrange something
I mean, like
with our
that.
Man,
city
they might want you to piss you
y'all
off and come down here. That's the problem.
right? Not just for the Muslims, though.
They tootsie roll in the parking lot.
1 second. I want to set it up with the city too, right?
Nah, inshallah. No, I mean,
So
you know,
make
whatever,
it
whatever.
really reach everyone.
The thing is, it's just got to benefit. You know, the people got to be there. It's got to benefit. There's got to be a lot. See, there, the guy came at me yesterday, and we talk about this a lot. There's so many needs that we have, but are we actually prepared to address the needs in our community as a community? You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to say, oh, we need to know how to parent. We need to know about couples relations. We need to know how to do these marriages. But is our community actually ready to come week in, week out, do the homework, do the support, money, financing, institution, the whole shebang when a professional comes out? So that's the big thing. If the community's bought in, then you know you can get the professional there. But a lot of times, you know, we just.
But what I'm saying, I'm talking about doing it citywide, not just with the masjid, the whole
No,
city.
that's fine. It don't matter.
Right?
It can be
But
worldwide.
listen, here's the catch.
Huh?
We need the point that I think in our communities we are, and I'm one of them, so I can be first. We think we don't need no mental health, or we don't need that.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that in the good word. In a second.
Yeah, that's what I said. We think that's for suckers.
Yeah.
Right? So we need education.
Well,
So
not
we need you.
Yeah, definitely.
Good word to get done.
I'm gonna get you the. I'll get the contact info over to you, and we'll talk.
Right. All right. That was my request.
All right.
I love y'all. Thank y'all though for y'all.
I'm gonna hold on, Shay. We got the good word with the good doc, and then
Oh
we
yeah,
gonna
he wants you to
go
stay
back
to hear me rant.
Yes, sir. I love it. Close it
Iman
out.
Sulimaan, put your plug in for a free doc visit.
Oh, that ain't gonna be free for
I'm
Atlanta.
coming to Detroit. I want more than just a visit, though. I need a whole bunch of stuff out of Detroit.
No, that's different. If you coming, we got you. But if I'm coming, you already know what it is. You know,
We're gonna take you to the hill. Alhamdulillah, we're gonna let the good word with a good doc, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah, salatu salam. All praise is due to Allah, and may He infinitely put prayers and blessings on our master, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's a lot of things that we went over today. Okay, there's a lot. We talked about a lot of stuff. This was one of the most exciting, hottest shows. I mean, we've gone over 2 hours. I don't remember the last time we did this. We thought it couldn't be topped with Dr. Ware and Sheikh Mendez. I think it happened. I think it happened. So a lot of things happened. And you look at everything today. These are two men, you know, when you hear Jermaine, you hear the people around me, you know, speaking, you know, and I've known Imam Sulimaan a number of years more, so I've spoken about him a little more. But ever since I saw Imam Amin, and I saw what he what he was doing, especially when he was telling all them white folks who was trying to come in on after George Floyd got killed and everything like that. He was going off on people and taking the stronghold of your city, okay, and doing it without any apology, without anything, kufi on the head, everything, okay. These are two brothers. These are two real ones. Jermaine and I don't waste our time on this show talking to fake ass Negroes. Okay, we talk to real people. You hear what I'm saying? So these people have a history. Whether somebody calls them Imam or not, if they get fired tomorrow from their low-paying, no broke-having job of being an Imam, okay, because the people don't give them what they actually deserve, they're still going to be an Imam to me. They're still going to be an Imam to real people, okay? Because when you're a real one and you have sincerity in your heart and you've put the work and put the time and put the love and put everything that you can put into your people, okay, you're always an Imam. You're always a leader. The word Imam, amama in Arabic, means somebody who's in front of something. Somebody who stands in front, somebody who's like leading you, but literally it's like somebody who's in front of you. So these are frontliners anyway. And frontliners doesn't just mean you're going to take bullets physically. They've taken, like right at the top of the show, he was talking about people saying, I'm selling dope and I got these girls, I'm pushing weight and doing all this other stuff. And he's still there. He's still there. How many people walk into a masjid, walk into a place one time? And I'm not knocking how fragile and traumatized and whatever people are, okay? But how many times you walk in one time and you'll never go there again because somebody talking crap about you? And it hurts even deeper. It hurts even deeper, and we went into this. It hurts even deeper when it's somebody of your own community, somebody you felt that maybe they would give me a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. But we have a disease in our heart, and the disease has been injected by a number of cultures, by a number of people, to hate ourselves and to hate our own leadership. How can you hate men and follow one? How can you literally hate a man? How can you hate men and follow a male prophet, Muhammad? How can you hate men? And I'm not even just talking about people who have been hurt in relationships and all that, okay? But I'm saying you have children, you have boys, you have men, you have young men who are coming up. There's certain things that we have in our heart. And there's men who hate leaders. There's men who hate other men because they're insecure and fragile within themselves. And they see in another person and hasad, just like Imam Amin was eloquently talking about. They want the thing that you actually have. It's not just jealousy. It's not just, why does he get it? They actually want to take away what you actually have, whatever position, whatever knowledge, whatever that thing is. And so we got a lot of stuff that we have to cover. But the thing is this, and yeah, there were so many other things that I'm actually interested in to talk about, but we would be remiss if me as a mental health professional did not go into, at least for a few seconds, the importance of how we're going to heal our community. And I busted, as many people did, to legitimize and make mental health central and to make mental health a different thing in our communities. And God will tell you that Detroit, Michigan is one of the hardest places to make something, to shift any type of thinking of anything. You ever question it? Come here and try. Come and try it. Come try and sit here for years. It has to literally be something God is shoving down your spiritual throat, because that's what I had to do to the people, just like I'm doing right now. It's going to get shoved down your throat. I'm not backing up. Too many people overdosing, too many kids committing suicide, too many people getting raped and told to be silent, too much sexual abuse, too much spousal abuse. There's too much of this going on. So you are not going to stay at a low percentage or something marginal, that this is not something that our communities need to address and go for right now. In some beads and some la ilaha illallahs and Quran, you think that's going to do something for you? It only goes as far as the heart and the sincerity of what's in it. So if you're still trying to be grimy and Tootsie rolling, snickering, Three Musketeering, whatever, all around your community, then that Quran ain't going to do nothing for you except witness against you. Spitting on the camera. Except witness against you in your heart. So this is what it is. So these dudes aren't just kufis with opinions. They have busted their ass for the sake of God to learn more about the Prophet Muhammad. And we have to respect that. Okay? They're human. They're not perfect. We give counsel just like people did to the Prophet. But this hatred and this subconscious, this aim to destroy masculinity and manhood because it doesn't make sense inside of your diseased heart? No, it's not happening. Not on this show, not anywhere I'm walking, not anywhere these guys are walking. It's not going down. And the real ones always stand up at the end. At the end of the day of judgment, after everything's been wiped out, there's going to be a certain people standing before Allah takes them. And these types of people are some of them. So I thank Allah that I was able to live long enough, one, to make it to Ramadan, but two, to be able to talk to good and sincere people time and time and time again. And we've hit a pinnacle now, inshallah, and hopefully we can get higher. So that's your good word, inshallah. Salam.
Alhamdulillah.
Amin. Amin.
Alhamdulillah. So, and on that note, man, this has been absolutely incredible. And alhamdulillah, the dialogue is consistent with the good vibes of good brothers. So everybody, if you're not following our page, follow our page, subscribe to us on YouTube. And we need to get these words out, share our page, and let people know that this is what we putting out, man. Our content is for our people. And when I say our people, I mean those who love themselves, love the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and love those who they are touching and impacting. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody that we put on our show, they got that type of love. And that's the theme we get, because the theme is love, common love. You know what I'm saying? So I want y'all to understand that these brothers are putting that work in. All right, and they are not by themselves. So when you see, if you a brother and you see these men around, show them the respect that they deserve. You know what I'm saying? Treat them like how some of these Muslims be treating them, breaking their necks for them sheikhs from overseas coming over here. Treat them, and if you can't treat them that same accord, treat them as such, give them the respect that they deserve. Revere these men. We just visit Imam Salim Joseph grave yesterday, and alhamdulillah, he was a man revered, and we was his soldiers. Like, again, I wasn't from his Jamaat, but we was his soldiers. Sheikh Abdul Karim is here right now, right? That's my big brother, love him to death. I'm a soldier for that brother. My Emir Salim Khalid, I'm a soldier for that brother.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And so Imam Imam Abdullah El Amin, I'm a soldier for that brother. These are pioneers that's still here. So why you got Imam Sulimaan is a young leader. Show him that you deserve, that he deserved, you know what I'm saying, that you deserve him. Show him you deserve him. Respect him. If he say on go, be on go. He's not gonna mislead you. I trust and believe he's not gonna mislead you, even though he got the bag. He got the big stuff. MashaAllah. So alhamdulillah, man. Imam Amin, Imam Sulimaan, all the leaders, all our brothers, man. It's a congregate. It is a sense of leadership in this. We do have it. And they always say, where the Muslims? The Muslims are out here. You got to get out of your box, man. You gotta get out of your box. Most dawah I ever made when I was in the streets, and alhamdulillah, I'm trying to apply that to my young nephews and do that. And inshallah, I'm gonna bring them down to Atlanta. I'm gonna bring them to Atlantic City. Got Bashir Jones coming up here for the water drive, and we're gonna do a program with him, bringing them to Detroit. That's my man's $100,000. So alhamdulillah, man. If you got people and pioneers and loved ones and aunties in your city, revere them, sit at their feet, take in what they give, because again, they're not going to be here. And matter of fact, you can be gone before they go, so take advantage of what they got. So alhamdulillah, Imam Amin and Imam Sulimaan, I appreciate y'all. Y'all know for a fact how much I love y'all and respect y'all.
Likewise.
One of y'all close out with a dua, inshallah.
Love you.
Imam Sulimaan, Tafaddu Sayyidi.
Imam Amin, your tax weed is better than mine.
You can't do the Imam politics. You are the biggest community walking. You are following the.
You got that backdrop. Your backdrop is nicer than mine. Bismillah.
Hey, you know where I get that from? That's from being on the show. They taught me how to do that. But go ahead, you go.
Bismillah. No, you got it, Imam. You got it, Sheikh.
See, that's what they learned from the Pakistanis and the Arabs. This stuff. Come on, man. Go ahead, black man. Take your
Bismillah. I yield to you, Imam, please.
All right. They say, Imtithalul Amr Fawq al-Adab. I order you to give it.
I'm about to give it if y'all don't do this. Come on, man.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah. We ask Allah to accept this effort of da'wah. We ask Allah to accept the sincerity of our organizers of this program. We ask Allah to accept our worship in this month. We ask Allah to accept us as sincere servants of His. We ask Allah to make us stronger followers of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That He accept our fasting, that He accept our salat, He accept our tawbah, He accept and make us of those who witness Laylatul Qadr and we'll
Amen.
recite Surah Al-Asr, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, wal Asr, innal insana lafi khusr, illa alladhina amanu wa amilu salihati wa tawassaw bil haqq wa tawassaw bis sabr. Amin.
Thank y'all very much for a good afternoon. I got a break today. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Thank y'all. Everybody who's following, man. Thank y'all, and everybody. Thank y'all for the donations. Keep them coming. We're gonna try to break the bank with this and get our people up in Flint taken care of, man. They really
breaking the bank.
They really appreciate it. They really appreciate it. I'm telling you, they do.
Right. That's right. That's big. Thank you so much, Imam Amin. Imam Sulimaan.